Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I am your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel and the Dragon Suplex Podcasting Network. Hurricane Ian, whatever the heck, came through. It's happening right now. It doesn't seem like it's much here in the Carolinas. I hope everyone who lives south of the Carolinas in, Georgia and Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, I hope they're okay. I hope they're doing well, as always. But right now, in Durham, North Carolina, this is just kind of like a fall snow day for us. It's not snowing, it's raining. There's threat of bad, weather in the evening. But, I kind of had the day off. I had a little meeting over the phone, had to answer some emails, had to pick up some signs. But other than that, I had a little bit of a day off. It felt good. So what I'm going to hit you guys with is a mini-sode. I learned that from My Favorite Murder, a mini-sode. This is what this is. I try to keep them all short, but this one's just a mini-sode. We're only going to be talking about AEW Dynamite and a little bit of another wrestling match because I just wanted to kind of spice it up. I didn't want to just talk about AEW Dynamite. But right now, speaking of AEW Dynamite, I don't miss the Elite. I don't miss CM Punk. I like the way the show is paced now. I think Tony Khan is going through something kind of like what Vince McMahon went through in the Attitude Era. Without Hall, without Nash, he was forced to make new stars. Just kind of like the New Generation era with Hogan and Savage and all of them jumped over. He was forced to make new stars there too. But he had to build new and think different. And it feels like that's what's happening with AEW Dynamite right now. It feels better. It feels much better paced. The matches are fun. There's less technical aspects of the matches, but there's more fun things that happen in between the matches. It's on the men's division, that is. Women's division needs a little work, and we'll get into that a little later. But the show kind of starts out. I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on the show, and then break down every single match from worst to first. Jericho Appreciation Society comes out and celebrates the ROH title victory. Jericho is really good at this. I'll call it Your Life Rock segments. He has kind of taken the arrogant celebration and made it an art. This is very early 2000s Raw, and I think that's where Jericho's kind of getting this stuff from. Jericho is making his own imprint on these kind of segments in AEW, and I like it. The boy band thing works. I think the Inner Circle was kind of like a rock band with the leather jackets, and Jericho Appreciation Society is kind of like a boy band with their aesthetic. The return of Luigi Primo here, but the whole thing breaks down when Garcia stands up to Jericho. Jericho just doesn't get it. He does a great job, acting like he doesn't get it, acting like Garcia is ungrateful. Garcia even more upset by this. The Philly crowd really helping, chanting "You're a wrestler." Then Danielson comes out, kind of just eggs this whole situation on a little bit, and invites Garcia over to the Blackpool Combat Club. This pisses off Jericho even more. So this is kind of like a boy band versus an MMA training gym. Dynamics you would only see on a pro wrestling show. So it's clear who the audience will get behind. Obviously, they'll get behind this tough guy MMA training gym. They work hard. They're good at what they do, and not these arrogant goofballs who are wearing silk jammies or whatever. But the Jericho Appreciation Society is so good at playing this role, doing the performance. They do get respect from the audience. So this whole feud, everyone involved from Danielson to Tay Conti, or Tay Mello, whatever her name is great. Jericho, though, within the fabric of the show, is getting pissed here. Garcia challenges Jericho and a partner to a tag match with Garcia and Danielson. Danielson and Daddy Magic, they wrestle, which kind of spins, this whole segment into a wrestling match we'll get to later. But after that match, Yuta comes out, calls out MJF. He does not get abused on the mic this week. He holds his own against the Master. The hometown crowd helped. And what happened after the Mox match helped as well. We will get to that a little later also. Then we have Saraya. I don't know her name. Well, even though she said it, I'll figure it out. That's my fault. I'll say that right now. This match that followed was cool, but this shit sucked. This segment beforehand was awful. She comes out, invites the whole women's division out, and only 5 girls come out, including Toni Storm, the champion. So you are making the champion look weak, like a henchman standing behind the girl that you're really trying to put over. And from what I understand, you can't really put her over in the ring right now because she is not cleared, but yet you're still trying to have her out there kind of in a commissioner role, but not like official commissioner role. So she's just out there calling roughshod, bossing these ladies around for no reason. So you're making your champ look, real shitty. Athena also out there, the never new toy, the girl that came out one time, got a pop, and then's been getting her ass kicked by Jade for 2 months. The player coach, Madison Rayne, and 2 wrestlers who aren't even signed with the company, Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale. And then Britt Baker and her faction come out, accompanied by Penelope Ford. Why was Penelope Ford out there? Of course, because she's going to be a lumberjack later, whatever. But there's actually no storyline reason or explanation during the body of the promo why Penelope Ford would just be randomly with Britt Baker and her crew. The faces were asked to come out. The heels crashed the party. Rebel, Hayter, and Baker are together. Ford, no explanation. The crowd chants for Hayter. And if they did what they should have done after All Out, you would have had tension with Hayter. You would have had, maybe Hayter with the title right now or Hayter without the title. And then you could have Britt versus Hayter, Toni Storm going up against Saraya or something, Saraya, whatever. And you would have 2 storylines going on in the women's division, one being not for the title, which is rare to have in AEW. But now the whole thing looks weak. Britt Baker being a lumberjack is not that cool. She's been the only over champion in AEW women's division history. And then the whole thing with Britt rhyming with shit didn't take off. Philly wanted to chant something, but they didn't know where the chant was. Britt, shit, Britt. They couldn't figure it out. And at that point, I was done with this segment. It was just trash. It reminded me of the Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown. All these women standing behind women for no rhyme or reason, just to get the whole roster out there to set up a lumberjack match. The match was good. We'll get into that a little later. Jungle Boy video package, the Acclaim promo. Jungle Boy and the Acclaim would benefit if people who are watching at home could see live reactions from these people. But they kept him in the back this week, and I think that kind of kills the momentum of the Acclaim, which is, ironically enough, like some of your hottest wrestlers right now. Andrade and Rush are mad at Private Party. Matt Hardy wants Private Party back. This is the story of the worst faction that will not die. This shit has gone on for like 2 or 3 years now of Matt Hardy and Private Party and Andrade Family Office or whatever the hell is going on. We've lost a few members. Butcher and Blade, where are they at? Wasn't there a bald guy that was with Matt Hardy that didn't come out with Andrade? We got Roosh in here. What's going on? I don't know. I think this is just here to justify the amount of money that they've paid Matt Hardy and paid Andrade. And then Matt Hardy and Andrade get to pick and choose the wrestlers they want to work with. So that's how Private Party and Roosh are involved. But, as far as like the actual storyline purpose of this, it makes no sense. They should work on it. I promise I like AEW here. It seems like I'm shitting on it a little bit, but we're going to break down the matches here from worst to first, all 5 matches. Number 5, Starks versus Eli Isom. Isom from ROH before Tony Khan welcomed ROH into AEW, so his ass ain't getting over. Spear, Rochambeau, 1, 2, 3. Starks gets the victory. Number 4 out of 5, Mox versus Juice. A lot of people were putting this match over, saying Juice did a good job. I didn't see it. I was told AEW was interested in Juice Robinson. He's done with New Japan. That explains him coming out to the shitty Bullet Club Impact music, and he attacks Mox before the bell. They're brawling. MJF watching on in the skybox. Sloppy in-ring to finish off the match. Mox wins, but behind MJF in the luxury box was Wheeler Yuta, who attacks him like Jason on Friday the 13th, just standing behind him. This shot was cool. They go into the crowd. The crowd pops at first, but they kind of died down. But then MJF, being irate at being attacked, gets the crowd going again. He's great. Hangman comes out to confront Mox. This match is important for Hangman. They haven't known what to do with Hangman since he dropped the title. They didn't know what to do with Hangman when he had the title. He has gotten pulled into this Elite Punk conflict, even though he wasn't there. And this is the only homegrown champion AEW has ever had. So I feel like it's big for the perception of the hardcore fan base to see what you do with Hangman. He's over with that hardcore fan base. It's also big with perception of the wrestlers. Like, if I go to AEW, will I become a star without going to WWE? Right now, it looks, I mean, the Acclaimed should have gone over it all late. It took a few months. Hangman Page, squeezed in there. Thunder Rosa got there. It seems like if you're not a former WWE guy, they know how to build you as a champion, but once they put that title on you, they don't know what to do. Thunder Rosa, Hangman Page. Darby Allin really didn't have a good TNT title run. And now the Acclaimed, they win the titles. They're one of the hottest acts last week. This week, they're just stuck standing near some steps. I don't know what's going on. But going to number 3 out of 5, we have Danielson versus Daddy Magic Matt Menard. This was a solid match. Menard laying in chops. Danielson, of course, sending them back his way. Cool Hand gets involved. Claudio runs out and just puts him over his shoulder and runs away with him. Danielson taps out Daddy Magic, and this is what I was saying earlier, with there seems to be a lot more cool stuff happening in the body of the matches, like MJF watching Yuta standing behind him getting attacked, and then next thing you know, Hangman comes out, and that's all during a good match. Danielson attacking Menard, Cool Hand gets involved, Claudio comes out. I feel like a few months ago we would have had more technical wrestling, and we would not have had anything like other wrestlers coming out and getting involved, or helping out or doing anything to get pops, instead of just good technical wrestling. I hope that makes sense. But number 2 out of 5, D versus Toni Storm. Of course, I shit on the women's division all throughout the segment prior, but I think this was a great match. I thought it was going to steal the whole show. Armbar for armbar in the early going. Deeb tying Toni Storm up in knots. Willow chasing away Hayter at one point. Athena getting mad at Baker. But going back to Willow and Hayter, I think that any face going up against Hayter right now is death. So I guess it's good that they are putting her up against a girl not under contract, because you got to feed her somebody. But you're kind of feeding Willow to the wolves right now, because it's supposed to be Hayter's supposed to be getting booed, but she's going to be getting cheered wherever she goes. So then Willow's going to be looking like the goofball trying to get a bunch of cheers when she's going to be getting booed, if you know what I'm saying. So, I would keep Hayter away from any face that you see in a prominent role in AEW. And they could have signed Willow by now, but they're not. They keep bringing her back. She's great. But there's something about her that I guess they don't want to sign her. Maybe it was the fact that she landed on Mercedes Martinez's face a few months ago during WrestleMania weekend. But I think it's a good move that they're using Willow Nightingale here in this Hayter feud. And, Willow, if you're Willow, why not? Why not keep showing up for international TV? It's probably better than the India dates you're getting. Running hip attack. Storm Zero, 1, 2. Deep kicks out. Storm Zero off the second rope. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm gets the victory. You kind of put over your champion there at the end, but you made her look like a goof standing behind the girl that you just signed from WWE, and that girl can't even wrestle. What are you doing here? Number 1 match, the main event, the ROH title match, Jericho versus Bandito. This match was hands down the best match on Dynamite, because of Bandito. Bandito, a free agent, You got to figure he's getting signed, no doubt about it. I think the only person pissed about that is probably Rey Fenix. He looked a lot Rey Fenix-like, wearing the all-white like Rey Fenix wears. But he's got a cooler mask, and he's, can showcase acrobatics as well as strength. Phoenix and the Lucha Brothers, even though they have those trios titles, feel like old toys. I feel like it's the battle of the new toys and the old toys as far as Tony Khan's booking is concerned. Jericho goes for a secret handshake to, adhere to the code of honor that Bandito was not in on, and then he flicks him off. Bandito dives, one-arm press slam, 90-second delayed suplex. Jericho gets the advantage, moves to the apron, but gets hit with the Hurricane Rana off the apron. GTS, 21 plex from Bandito. He's on fire, bleeding through the mask. Lion Tamer. Bandito taps out at the end. Great showing from Bandito. If it's up to me and it's Bandito or Juice Robinson, I would sign Bandito. I would have Bandito a part of, I guess you'd have to change the name, but I would have him as part of Death Triangle. I'm surprised they haven't signed Bandito earlier. I mean, Bandito was in the main event of All In, and here he is, not even signed 3 years later. I know he was signed to ROH. I know he's a former ROH title holder, hasn't dropped the title, except for, I guess, last night. So there's a lot you could do with him. But I would not sign Juice Robinson right now. Juice Robinson has the pedigree of a lot of guys that are already on the roster. Made it to NXT, didn't like it, left, went to New Japan, became a part of Bullet Club, left Bullet Club. That's there's a lot of guys you can point out that did that. Hangman Page, Young Bucks, Omega. Right there off the top of my head, I named a few. Adam Cole kind of did that in a little bit of a reverse order. So I don't think he would stand out on the roster as much as Bandito, even though, yes, of course, we just named Phoenix and Pentagon and Serpentico, and there's all these wrestlers with lucha backgrounds with masks. I think Bandito has that strength, and he has that cool-ass mask. It looks like a fucking bandit. That's cool. So I would sign him over Juice, but I think Tony Khan, as he's quick to point out, has enough money to sign everybody. But going away from AEW, I was looking for something else to carry, or for something else to talk about, not carry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Cover, I guess I wanted to say. And for some reason, Impact Wrestling didn't pop in my head, even though they had a great hardcore women's match. Masha Slamovic, Allie Katch, go out of your way to watch that. But I got on IWTV and I saw Wrestling Open. Main event, Crowbar versus Alex Price. No DQ. Alex Price, the Northeast Beast. This guy is over. He dresses cool. He looks cool. A generation ago, we would say he has swag, but he's definitely got drip. Rocking the sick fit. I'll stop. Yes, that Crowbar from WCW. They wrestle in the same intimate confines as Beyond Wrestling's Uncharted Territory tapings. I love this venue. The crowd is standing, so it doesn't really have the feel of an indie wrestling show, more of like an underground rock show, which in my opinion is an overall better and cooler feel. Alex Price flying around on offense, Crowbar throwing him around on defense, Crowbar choking him with his own arm, and then draping the back of his neck over the top rope. I thought this was a really cool move. The crowd has this chant that they do with Price. Price will do like a big running boot in the corner, and instead of like the woo 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 or Olay, woo woo woo, Matt Zack Ryder, the Olay 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 kicks Samoa Joe, but Alec Price he kicks him and then kind of holds him into the turnbuckle, and then he goes one more time, and the crowd goes, because he's trash. That makes me feel old, but it was cool. It worked. It was over. Double springboard blockbuster at 1.12. Crowbar kicks out. Death Valley Driver 1-2. Alex Price kicks out. Clothesline off the apron. Crowbar gets a chair. Does some vintage Crowbar shit. Alec Price rolls him up 1, 2, 3 and steals the victory from the veteran. Cool ass match. Go out of your way to find it. Beyond Wrestling, Wrestling Open, any show in this venue is a little cooler than other shows in the indies. It's just got a cool feel to it. The guy booking that room knows what he's doing. IWTV is fun to click. It's got some AEW stars. It's got some, stars from all over the place. It used to have GCW. That's a whole can of worms I won't get into right now, but it's a fun little thing. If you're looking for some wrestling and you want some different wrestling, once or twice a month, log into IWTV and you're going to find some good shit on there. But that's all for me, guys. I hope you like this mini-sode. Fly high. I'm out.